Hey, my friend, we're just about 1 minute away from service start time. Make sure that you are loving, sharing, and inviting others to watch with you. Get your notes ready. We got just about 1 minute left. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fellowship Hall. Go ahead, grab a seat. We're just gonna chop it up a little bit. Welcome back to everybody who watched who was at our service, our afternoon service. Today we talked about beyond today, living beyond today, and really kind of going into the future. But now we are in the Fellowship Hall, so it's a little less formal here. This is after service chit chat. So I am going to ask you a whole bunch of, invite people and tag people. We just going to talk for a few moments. So I will say, just share this at least once. I know we just came out of service, so I hope everybody's doing good. Maybe you're catching us after your service. But this is what I'm calling the Fellowship Hall. Okay. So you can see the chairs behind me, the tables behind me. Grab a plate of food. We're going to talk for just a few moments. And so I thought this was a good idea, considering yesterday I posted a post and I said, beware of sympathetic witchcraft. Beware of sympathetic witchcraft. And I'm telling you, like 3-4 people were like, what is that? Explain that. Like, are you going to do a teaching series on that? And I was like, wow, I didn't know if, it was that unknown. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me come on live and talk about this, because I don't feel led to necessarily do like a series on it or anything like that, like a full-blown teaching on it. But I did want to talk about it because I do think it is something that a lot of us deal with, and we're perhaps not even aware of it. Or perhaps you are a practitioner of sympathetic witchcraft. Maybe you're a practitioner of sympathetic witchcraft. I don't know. I hope not. But sometimes we do things and we don't even know why we do it or where we got the habit from. And it's just as a part of, our life, because that was all that we saw, all that we were exposed to. But can you at least do me this one favor? Send up a heart, say hello, say hi, tell me what you're eating for dinner, tell me what you're eating for lunch. This is the Fellowship Hall. Y'all know the Fellowship Hall, where you just chilling. So do me a favor, just tell me what you're eating for lunch, tell me what you're doing for dinner. We just chilling in the Fellowship Hall for a few moments. Who's in here? Anybody in here? Anybody watching? I don't know if y'all on here or not. Y'all on here? Okay. I'm going to just assume you are. But let's talk for a few moments. I want to talk to you just a little bit. Okay. Salad. Okay. Sister Karen is eating some salad at the table. Okay. Bishop Hampton. God bless you, man. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I hope to meet you in person soon. Bishop Hampton's in the house. Dion is back. She's in the Fellowship Hall. Sister Latrice is here. God bless you. Sorry, my screen's a little wonky. But anyway, let's talk about this real quick. I don't want to be too long, not unless y'all start asking questions. But check it out. So yesterday, again, I posted a fried fish. Oh my goodness. Fried fish. Okay. All right. Let's get into this. So I posted this yesterday and I said, beware of sympathetic witchcraft. And several people, like I said, were like, well, what is that? Or do a teaching on that, explain what that means, that kind of a thing. And so I just thought, why not talk about it? I think it'll be a good idea to just kind of talk about it for a few moments. So sympathetic witchcraft, let's first, we need to figure out what to eat. So let's figure out, first of all, or define what witchcraft is. Okay. So witchcraft, for a lot of us, the first thing that comes to our mind is a wicked, right? A woman with a black pointy hat riding on a broomstick, right? That's the first thing that typically comes to our mind when we think of witchcraft. But the Greek word for witchcraft used in Galatians chapter 5 is the Greek word pharmakia, okay? Where we get the word pharmaceutical, where we get the word drug, okay? And so when you think about what a drug does, a pharmaceutical does, it alters your reality. It has the power and the capability of changing how you feel, how you process information. It has the power to literally alter your reality. This is why when people get inebriated, they get drunk, they get high, they start to hallucinate, they start to slur their words. It literally changes their reality. And so when we talk about witchcraft, we talk about pharmacy, drugs. It is literally coming under the influence or coming under the control, right? That's literally at the base or at the core of it, what it means. And so in Galatians chapter 5, verse 20, divination or witchcraft or sorcery, depending on which translation you read, it all means the same thing, pharmakia, but it is a work of the flesh. I want you to hear that. Witchcraft is a work of the flesh. So how is it a work of the flesh? What is it? Witchcraft is at its core and at its essence illegally influencing or bringing somebody or something under your control. Okay? So there's different forms of witchcraft, okay? So when we talk about sympathetic witchcraft, I want you to think of it as a particular kind or a particular brand of witchcraft, okay? So watch this. Let me give you another scripture. 1 Samuel 15, verse 23. The prophet Samuel is speaking to Saul, and he says, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft or divination, and presumption as iniquity and idolatry." And the reason he uses that word or even says that to Saul is because Saul is literally trying to get his way. He's literally trying to control, he's literally trying to influence an entire process that God had already given him instruction in regard to. God had already said, kill everything, spare nothing. But he decided, I'm going to do my own thing. I know better. I'm going to do my own thing. And so when we talk about witchcraft, I don't want you to think of black magic immediately. I don't want you to think of magic wands and magic spells. And I don't want you to immediately and always think of that. I want you to think of someone who is seeking to illegitimately control or to bring someone else under their influence, oftentimes without the other person's permission, knowledge, or participation. So if that was clear, I want you to type "that was clear." If you understand what I'm saying, type "I get that, that was clear, I understand." Okay. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page before we get into what sympathetic witchcraft is. Okay, so are we clear on that? Is that clear? Is that good? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. So, different forms of witchcraft. Okay, thank you, Bishop. So, different forms of witchcraft, or the way that witchcraft can oftentimes be expressed is through anger. You know, people who have explosive tempers that cause you to walk on eggshells around them, they oftentimes use their anger as a manipulation tool. They oftentimes use their temper as a manipulation tool. They oftentimes use, watch this, silent treatments as a manipulation tool. Married couples oftentimes use sex, or the one who makes the most money. They use that sometimes as a manipulation tool. And that is a form of witchcraft. Okay. So sympathetic witchcraft is this. Sympathetic witchcraft is not always discernible. Sympathetic witchcraft is not always easily seen, as it were. It is serious. So watch this. Sympathetic witchcraft oftentimes comes in the form of crocodile tears. So we're just in the fellowship hall. That's why I'm not giving you a whole bunch of scripture. I did give you some scripture, but we're in the fellowship hall. So sympathetic witchcraft comes in the form, I like that, Dion, grooming. Absolutely. But sympathetic witchcraft is not always as overt. It's subtle, right? So sympathetic witchcraft is individuals who use or manipulate through pity or trying to get sympathy from you, right? So oftentimes sympathetic witchcraft are those people who play the victim all the time. I know you're rich. I know you have a lot of money. And I'm just not as fortunate as you are. But if you could really just see it in your heart to be a blessing to little old me. I mean, I know you got a lot of money, and you know, I know you could easily do it, but if you could just please just I mean, maybe I'm not that important to you. Maybe I'm just not that important to you, but if you could please just this one time, you know, I know you got it, but I need some help, please. Sympathetic witchcraft. Sympathetic witchcraft. They like playing the victim. And I'm gonna say it. A lot of times parents do this to their children. A lot of times children. Now, before I say that, a lot of times we have been taught this even unaware. Oh, Jesus. Because if you've got a little girl, little boy who give you the puppy dog eyes, mommy, daddy said I couldn't go out inside and play. And mommy goes, oh, it's okay, baby. Daddy didn't mean it. You can go outside and play. I'll talk to daddy. Yes. And they run outside and go play. As soon as they throw a temper tantrum, you're running to their aid. You're running to their... See, a lot of us have been taught and trained in this. It's sympathetic witchcraft because you are seeking to control, manipulate, and influence someone else through the use of pity and sympathy. That's manipulation. That is wrong. That is, may I even say, that is borderline demonic. Lying is a form of witchcraft. Why? Because you are because you are withholding information and or giving false information in the hopes that you can manipulate a narrative or an agenda. Sympathetic witchcraft. It's not gonna hurt nobody. It's a little white lie. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. Okay. Sympathetic witchcraft. And then, you know, kids do that, little kids do that. And so they learn through osmosis, if you will, that all I got to do is just stick my lip out, squeeze out a tear. I'm going to get my way. Mommy lets me get away with it. Daddy lets me get away with it. And then they go to school and they are the baddest little hard-headed, don't listen to any of the teachers, don't listen to any of the administrators, don't know how to respect authority, just out of control, because they were trained that if you cry or poke out your lip or give somebody the puppy dog eyes, then they're gonna get their way. Yes, we just in the fellowship hall, y'all. Come on, am I talking to anybody? Thank you, Di. Thank you, Latree. It's manipulation. It is manipulation. And when they're kids, it's cute. Oh, let them go out down there. Blah, 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 blah. But when that little 3-year-old becomes 13, 14, 15, 16, and wants to take the car out and, you know, gets mad because you don't buy him the latest pair of Jordans or whatever, and then their temper tantrum becomes door slamming and fists in the wall and throwing stuff, then you I don't know what I did wrong. I gave little Jimmy everything he asked for, and how could he treat me like this? It's your fault. You trained them to respond. So all they have, now my numbers are going down. All they have to do is throw a temper tantrum, and you don't cry. It's okay. Don't do. Mommy's here. Daddy's here. It's okay. We don't want you upset. Sympathetic witchcraft. And then when they get married, they become a horrible husband or a horrible wife because all their life they've gotten what they wanted by pouting and throwing temper tantrums and crying and being extra emotional and having meltdowns. And so when they get married, you know, their husband or their wife is like, what's wrong with you? You don't care about me anymore. I don't think you love me anymore. What are you talking about? Because every time I say, you don't do it for me, and I don't care. Or you got a big old grown man stomping around the house, slamming doors and pouting, acting like a little baby because he doesn't get his way. Y'all, we in the fellowship hall. Y'all can talk back to me. Come on. Or blaming someone else for their being. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have done this. The only reason I threw the pan across the kitchen is because I didn't like your attitude. Bruh. It's like, come on. And so we train kids. We train our kids. We at a young age, we do this. My son is 6. My youngest son is 6. Very smart, very intelligent. Very smart, very intelligent. This morning, I got him some waffles. Daddy, can you cut my waffles for me? Nope, you can. I'm not doing that. You do it. Daddy, can I have something to drink? Why are you asking me if you can have something to drink? Of course you can. Well, because I don't have anything to drink. Then get it yourself. You know how to go get a cup, son. The water is right here at the refrigerator level. You know how to get something to drink. And the point that I'm trying to make is we've got to train our kids to be independent of us. I'm not saying we don't do nice things for our kids. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But we can't begin to allow them on a mental path that all they have to do is just throw a temper tantrum, stick their lip out, and then they get what they want. Because they will control, they will manipulate with those tears. Now watch this. I'm almost done. I hope this is helping somebody. I hope this is helping somebody. But then parents do the same thing. Then parents do the same thing. I would do this if it was for my dad or for my mom. I wouldn't. I don't understand why you treat me like, oh, you must not care about me. Remember all those times I took you to Kings Island and all those times I paid for this, and now you don't even. That's manipulation. That's manipulation. Instead of being, oh Jesus, instead of just being honest and coming through the front door, you try to put people into guilt trips. Instead of just explaining or articulating what you're needing and what you're wanting, you try to make the other person feel bad to gain sympathy so that you can control their actions. That's manipulation. That is a work of the flesh. You are seeking to control people illegitimately without their permission and without their volition because you are playing upon their sympathies. And that's wrong. Always a victim. Never take any accountability for your own actions. Rarely honest. Never tell the truth about, like, that's manipulation. And then what'll happen is people will start to avoid you because every time they come around you, you're crying, you got your lip poked out, you're extra needy, and after a while, people, get hip to your game and they don't want to be around you. Come on. They won't be around you. And see, you got to be with people who are like that. You got to build borders with people who are like that. You got to just come through the front door and just be a straight shooter. I'm not doing that. I can't help you with that today. I'm sorry. I can do it tomorrow, but I can't drop what I'm doing right now because I hadn't planned on doing that. I am so sorry. It's okay. You don't care. You don't come see it. They will drain you. People like that will drain you. Come on, we're just in the fellowship hall. They'll drain you. What's up, brother DeAndre? I was thinking about you the other day. He says, is this why on average we're bad at having hard conversations and we rather sever ties with people? Yes. 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 Because we don't, and I'm not saying that I'm an expert in this, but I've gotten better over the years. Like, this is why you as an individual have to be secure in who you are. You've got to like who you are, and you've got to value who you are. Because if you don't, you will be duped into those sympathetic tears in those pity parties. And so what we do is, again, we avoid it instead of having, like brother DeAndre said, having a hard conversation or just being honest. And a lot of times, you remember that movie, A Few Good Men? You can't handle the truth. A lot of people can't handle the truth. So what we do is we have learned to even just not even be honest with how we really feel about stuff. So we endure, and we silently just endure, and we stay, and we stay quiet, and we talk to everybody else about how we feel about this one person or these people over here, but we never have the conversation with the person that we actually have a problem with. And sometimes, and watch this, and sometimes we don't do that because we get sympathy from everybody else that we have issues with concerning that other person. Oh, they treat you so bad. Yeah, they do. Every time I try to help, they just don't even acknowledge my help. They don't even they don't even say thank you. They just, blah, 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 blah. And so you whining and complaining and pouting and groaning and moaning to everybody else rather than having a hard conversation with the person that you feel is not valuing who you are as a person. You got to beware of sympathetic witchcraft. It's manipulation with tears, manipulation with trying to gain your pity, trying to gain your, play on your heartstrings, just instead of just being honest. Hey, bro, listen, I'm hard up for some cash right now. And if you could spare some money, I would greatly appreciate that. Just say that. Hey, you know what? I would really appreciate if we spent more time together, son. I would really appreciate, daughter, if you X, Y, and Z. I don't understand, it hurts my feelings that things aren't better, or da 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 da. Instead of the manipulative overtones, because now you're becoming a repellent rather than becoming an attractant, right? Now you're repelling people from you rather than attracting them to you. I could deal with somebody who's going through some stuff when they're honest easier than trying to navigate the nuances of trying to figure out what you want, what you're trying to get at. You're not valuing my thought. It's just, it drains you. Am I talking to anybody know what I'm talking about? Is that anybody identify what can identify with what I'm saying? We're just in the fellowship hall, y'all. We're in the fellowship hall. Thank you, Brother Andre. We're in the fellowship hall. We just talking, y'all. We just in the fellowship hall. After service conversation. That's what this is. Bishop Hampton says this is good because we need to make sure that we are using this tactic ourselves. Absolutely. 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 Thank you, Dion. Dion said it makes perfect sense. Awesome. Awesome. And here's the thing too. Again, I said it earlier, like a lot of times we have a problem with being honest, not because we can't articulate what we're honestly feeling and thinking. A lot of times we have a problem with being honest and forthright because people can't take it. Like, think about it. Like, people just, maybe this is because of the line of work I'm in. Did you have to say it that way? Why are you being so, you don't even care? And people are very, very, we live in a very, very sensitive society, a very, very sensitive time. And I had to realize this. I don't know how long ago I did, but it's interesting. I had to realize this. Like, both sides of my family, the Moores and the Starkses, like, both sides like to debate. Both sides will become very passionate about their perspectives. So I grew up with both sides of my family. I could be in my grandmother's house on my mom's side, and we're debating politics, or debating something in church, or debating something, this, that, and the other. And as soon as the debate is over, or while we're debating, hey, hand me a piece of cake. And it never gets personal. You understand what I'm saying? It never gets like, well, you nasty, fat, and it never gets personal. Same with the more side, but that's dumb because no, that's not what but that's just how I grew up on both sides of my family. And so I had to grow up a little bit and really understand everybody didn't grow up like that. And so sometimes I had to be extra careful about my delivery, even when if you really know me, I promise you, I mean no harm. 99.8% of the time, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I am not trying to make you feel little, I promise you, 99.8% of the time. There's a point, I have my moments, but most of the time, that's not what I'm trying to do. But I found out that some people were not raised in an environment where their voice mattered, where they could freely express themselves, or where they're not used to hearing hard things or having hard conversations. And so I have found that sometimes coming through the front door for some people can be intimidating, can come off as overwhelming, or can really cause people some level of discomfort, because we live in a society, and a lot of us have been brought up to where, we skirted around issues, or, being honest and just coming through the front door was like the last resort, right? You start being honest and being forthright when you're yelling and screaming, or after you've been arguing for 30 minutes, right? But we got to learn how to be better communicators. And when I say communicators, I'm not just talking about with things that come out of our mouths, but we've got to learn how to be better listeners and better hearers. And one of the things that I try to do, I'm not saying I'm 100% expert and always successful at this, but one of the things that I try to do before I get upset with someone because of what they're saying to me, I ask myself, is that their intention? Like, are they trying to make me upset? Like, are they, is that their goal, is to upset me? And if it isn't, okay, did I wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Do they have a valid point? Are they saying something that I had not considered before? I'm just talking, y'all. Come on. This is the fellowship hall. We're just talking around dinner. Somebody eating a salad, somebody eating some chicken. But we're talking about sympathetic witchcraft. Anybody else have any experiences with this? Is this making sense to anybody else other than Dion and Bishop Samuel Hampton? But we got to do better with this, because again, those relationships take work, man. Everybody is not you. Everybody don't communicate like you. Thank you. Yes, Dion, I appreciate that. I do that sometimes too. So she said, sometimes I repeat it back to ensure I don't respond out of my emotions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Emotions complicate things, right? Nothing wrong with emotions, but sometimes we need things to be very clear. And sometimes emotions can complicate things, right? Or sometimes the message can be missed because of the messiness of our feelings and emotions, and the message is completely missed because you could not turn down the temperature. One thing I learned too is I don't have to respond immediately. I used to be I respond immediately, just like that, to situations and problems or questions. And I realized I'm not obligated to respond to you right this instant. I have the right to think about how I'm going to respond. I have the right to process the information that you shared with me before I respond. So, all right, I'm done. Anybody else have anything to say or add to the discussion? We just in the fellowship hall. We eating some chicken and salad. Dion's eating fried fish. I guess she started week 3 of her fast a little early. But we just around the table chilling, yo. I ain't got, my Bible ain't open. I don't have a whole bunch of scriptures in front of me. I'm just talking, y'all. It's the fellowship hall. So hopefully this answered the question to anybody who was asking the other day, what is sympathetic witchcraft? What is sympathetic witchcraft? You got to be aware of sympathetic witchcraft because it will drain you. It will destroy your relationships. It will kill your uh-oh. 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 Oh, can y'all still hear me? I know y'all can still hear me. Okay. But it will literally kill your relationship. I hope this blessed y'all. All right. I love y'all. I hope this helps y'all. My computer's acting up. So anyway, I gotta go. I know I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope this helped y'all or blessed y'all, gave y'all something to think about at the very least. And I'll head out with this. If y'all want to throw just a few coins on the table, here's how y'all do that. It's scrolling right there. So if y'all want to just leave $5 into the offering plate, y'all can go ahead and do that. We go past the offering plate. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I hope this helped y'all. I hope y'all had fun with me. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Dan Thomas, Master Discover You Coach and Motivational Speaker. I want to take a few moments and talk to you about Be More Consulting with Dr. Benjamin T. Moore III. It's in the name. It's in the results that you're going to get as you sit down for a consultation. He's going to expand you through necessary exposure. You're going to accelerate through intentional and intellectual expediency, and you're going to be more. Or better said, you're going to become who you're supposed to be as he helps you launch out on your path, your uniqueness, your distinction, who you were called to be. Contact Dr. Benjamin T. Moore III and Be More Consulting today. I can promise you this, you'll be glad you did.